Well, right now, lawmakers still at the state capitol working through the night, and they have a long day ahead.
Yeah, that's for sure. We're taking a live look right now at the Senate floor here. Lawmakers currently still debating a bill that would ban certain Glock-style pistols from being sold here in our state. The clock is ticking. Any measures need to be passed before midnight.
Your reporter, Anna Stansfield, is live at the state capitol breaking down the work happening there right now. Anna, good morning.
Well, good morning. Session began here yesterday morning, and as you just mentioned, it is still going on right now, meaning these lawmakers are running on very little sleep. Kate, as you mentioned, right now, state senators are discussing a bill that could potentially ban the use and sale of Glock-style pistols in our state. You can see them in there. Still ongoing debate going on overnight here, making for a very long day. Just another long day after they've already worked hard to get several major issues towards the finish line here, including the state's budget. This year's proposed budget includes an adjustment to increase funding for schools by about $200 million. Multiple districts are facing funding shortfalls and warned of significant cuts to staff and programming if they didn't receive outside help. More than $100 million would also go to cities and towns to help lower property taxes. New rules for homeschooling have also passed the House and Senate. If the bill gets the governor's signature, families will have to get background checks and formally register their child for homeschooling. They would also have to prove their kid is getting a proper education. Homeschool families have pushed back throughout session, saying this bill violates their rights, but supporters say it will keep kids safe. Another key issue is more oversight for DCF. A report released last week raised concerns about staffing and training for caseworkers. Some lawmakers say they wondered if children involved in the system are safe. Now, session will come to an end here at midnight tonight, but again, there's still several key issues at hand here for these lawmakers, including the bill they're discussing right now, which is, again, to potentially ban the use of Glock-style pistols in our state. That debate still going on behind me in Senate chambers. So there's a lot at hand. I'm going to break down every key issue that is still going to be at play here today, brought up in the Capitol building throughout the day. I'll bring all of those issues up coming up in the next 30 minutes. For now, though, I'm your reporter live in Hartford, Anna Stansfield, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
All right, Anna, thank you. Lots to keep our eyes on here today.